Okay, so just the washer we had, about 93 thou thick, 3/32. I'm going through all my spacers. That's 250, that's too much. I need about another 30 to 50 thou more for my belt, probably about 30. It puts me roughly about 1/8 of an inch. 32nd more. So let's see if we have any here that's around 1/8 of an inch thick. So I keep checking all my different ones in here. Oop, that didn't work. Ugh. 93 again. How did that fall out when it's closed? It's closed very good. Had a bunch of shims and stuff in there just to make work. These are said they're 180 thick. These are old. The tape has disintegrated. It was holding it all together. It'd be called old. Shovel head parts. That's pretty thick. 175. Okay. That's 80 thou more than we had. I'm guessing this is going to be way too thick. One way to find out. Put it on there. Yeah. It's like 100 thou too thick. It's pretty big gap. Okay, what did we do wrong here? Oh, okay. That's why it's way the hell off, because numbers didn't add up in my head. What you doing, Scooby? Scooby. Wandering. Looking for rats. I had this hooked in there, but so it's going between here and here. That means there's a gap right here, which means you got a big gap over here. So when you get it off of that edge a little bit, push that in, slide that over. Looks a lot better. Looks like we can still use more. So I was caught on that edge before, I bet. Yep, so we still need more than this. So that's 180. So it'll be about 200. 200 is the stock spacer, as I recall. I don't have any of those in my bag. That's what this started out as before it got cut. Let's see what diameters I got this set at right now. It's at 175. It's not 200. Don't tell you size. It's always fun when I do that. That's where you measure them. Doesn't matter what they say it is. Measure it and you know for sure. Okay, these 100 thou to the bag. 1/4 inch. Those are shims. 1/4 inch. $185. Okay, so we need more. What do we got? So we need is a big factory one. I'm gonna do at the back these two now. What is it? There's 150 thou. $207. That'll work. I was the only one in the bag that was that size too. What did I do with that damn bag? $120. One of these is what I was looking for. Lost the bag that this was in. Found it. Right where I put it. Terrible thing to do, put stuff where it belongs. Okay, so these are all different ones. Okay. 200. So that puts about 30 thou off the back over here. So as you push on this, it'll pull this out a little bit. Make sure not on this edge here. Except right now when I'm trying to make it show. Yeah. It's hard to do with one hand on everything. Anyway, it moves. I can't do it by myself. Everything's falling off. Won't hold on. I got to put some of these parts together to make it more better, but it's pushing this out about another 30 thou. So that means if you keep it like this, it is now, it'll keep the belt off of this ring gear right here, which will tend to chew things up. So that's where we want to be, just off the edge of that. So you want to have about 20 to 50 thou clearance in here, depending on where you come in at. So we're going to wind up being about 30 or 40, I think, when we're done, which is right where I want it to be. So that's a 207 thou spacer. Now Harley has that real big, large diameter one here that look like this before they cut it. As I recall, that's 200 thou. That'll give you about 50 thou here, but that little small one will do the same job. Big diameter doesn't make any difference on these. It only hits on the width of whatever this is. This is a lot bigger in stock, that's why it's even bigger than this thing. No, they're not even near this size. So, but anyway, that's enough to hold that in there the way it is with no problem. So we can just use this one right here, which is probably for some shovel head application, but it doesn't matter. It's going to work on this bike. Okay, so this all needs to be put together. We can do more of a mock-up. real mock-up instead of guessing. Alright, and I have little shims in here. There's 5, 10, 15, 20 thou shims in here. You can fine-tune these shim kits whatever you want. Here's some more. You can see how thin these things are. They're real thin. So you can come up with just about anything you want within reason. That one's bigger. It doesn't matter what year it says it fits. It fits whatever it takes. Sounds like a fire engine. Sounds like a fire engine going by too. Big motor. Okay, so if you look at this here, you have threaded and you have round. Round is spline. I mean, is for the dowel. Thread is for the bolts. Here's some more here. All kinds of them. There's the button heads. And then we have little button head screws here that hold this back one right in here like that. So all these need to be put together. We're not using this anymore, so it goes in the scrap bin. Should be about there. I think I hit it. Some of these things you have to take the hub adapter here off to put the nut on there, which is pretty stupid. But I've seen an application where you had to do that. Really, really stupid. The more times you take this apart, the more damage it causes. You see the precision fit? No clearance. Not bad though. Pretty close. Probably about 5 thou. Okay, so that goes in there. The dowel pins beat in through. So goes like that. What I'm going to put the screws in first. Put the dowels in with a press instead of beating them with a big hammer. Then we'll take the screws out, put the plate on, put Loctite and everything, and put it together for real. The roll pins are going to line everything all up. These are split roll pins, so these are going to be put in. So you can either beat them in or press them in. I'd rather press them in than beat them in, because I have a press.